Good afternoon, good morning to all. So we are starting with our webinar. I will wait 1 or 2 minutes because I see that now people are registering. So we have over 30 people attending the webinar. And in the next 1 hour, we will present the ZEVinnovation project, and all our partners will present the role in the project, what they are doing, and what we are expecting and what we can offer in our project. So I will wait 1 or 2 more minutes just to finish this registration process, and we will start with the first presentation. So I think that we can start. We have over 30 people registered, and we are ready for presentation. Please note that this webinar is recording. So after the end of the presentation, after the end of the webinar, we will put the webinar online, and all participants will have option to see all presentation, and after the webinar we will send email and the location of all presentation that presenters can download and see directly. During the webinar, attendees can ask questions, and I will if it's question during the presentation, I will prepare the question and ask presenters after the presentation. And at the end of our program, attendees will have opportunity to ask questions. So we'll have like 10 or to 15 minutes for the questions and answers after the end of set of the presentations. So good morning to everyone. My name is Boris Josic, and I'm coming from Center of Technology Transfer. I am the coordinator of ZEVinnovation project, and the first presentation will show you, will present you a project and the project idea and partners. And after my presentation, all other partners in the project will present themselves and present the role in the project. The ZEVinnovation project is the short name of the Strengthening Transnational Cooperation, Knowledge and Technology Transfer in Development of Electric Vessels and Fostering Innovation in SMEs. If you just read the title of our project, you will see that we are covering the whole, a very large field, but we are focusing on the electric vessels and zero-emission vessels. I will try to go quickly through to give you introduction to the project and today webinar with short 6 short presentation and topics about the project. So project is funded by EEA and Norway Grant Fund for Regional Cooperation. The fund recognizes regional, cross-border, and transnational cooperation as a key driver to find shared solutions to these issues. And because of this, we found that this project is very good for our idea, and we applied for this program. We received this year positive evaluation, and the project started from the 1st of July. Total length of the project is 43 months, so we are ending in 2024. Application for the project started in the 2018. Project was 2-stage. First stage in 2018, the second stage and the final stage in 2019, and results in 2020. Project consists of 5 partners, from 2 from Croatia, 2 from Poland, and 1 from Norway, and 2 from Norway, 1 from Poland. Sorry. And the total budget is around 1.6 million, and this received from this grant. Some of the partners are receiving 100%, and some of the partners need to receiving only 75% because they are private companies. In total, we have 5 project partners. Center of Technology Transfer is the lead partner. We are based in Zagreb, Croatia. In the project, we have 2 beneficiary partners, which are Baltic Sea and Space Cluster in Poland, and Inovacije I Razvoj from Croatia. And we have 2 expertise partners coming from the Norway, OKP, specialist in the technology, and the Vinco Innovation specialist in the innovation. Each of these partners are responsible for 1 work package, and today they will present the role in the work package, what we want to achieve in that work package, and what is the idea, and what partners offer during in this project. Just short introduction about CTT. Is a company founded in 1996 by the University of Zagreb, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering and Naval Architecture. Faculty is still 100% owner of the company, and our strategic purpose during the funding, in the process of the funding, was to connect science and economy, to use laboratories from the faculty, and to help to together connect scientists working on the faculty and the laboratory with private companies in Croatia and worldwide, to enhance the competitiveness of Croatian industry by together working on the different project, different innovation, and to strengthen the role of FSB in this process, because there is a lot of room for the cooperation and to jointly work on the development of new projects. We have 2 main activities at the moment: to transfer technology into economy, and incubation acceleration of entrepreneurial ideas. Transfer of knowledge by projects implementing by people working in the CTT, professors from the faculty, and we are trying to connect companies with the faculty. We have also lifelong learning process program where we organize several conferences and seminars every year, and presenters on these conferences and seminars are professors from the faculty. We also have incubation of startup and spin-off company in our premises, and we also working with the student incubator. So if there is interest for the incubation, please contact, and we will try, and we will see about the possibilities. What was the idea and the context about behind this writing of this project? And when we started in 2018, when we started to look what is a good idea for innovation and where we have the potential, we saw this waterborne transport as a promising area for the implementing different innovation, because this sector is huge. It have unique technologies and fuels, special operating environment, and a lot of regulation. Furthermore, this sector is traditionally important industry for the European economy. And as you can see, partners from Croatia, Norway, and Poland is traditionally shipbuilding country with a lot of big shipyards, small companies working in this sector. And we saw this as our opportunity to implement our project. What are the specific challenges of waterborne transport sector? So one of the biggest challenges to decarbonize this sector. And in 2018, we found out that ships entering EU ports emit almost 30% of total EU transport emissions. So this number is very huge. And then we find out that if it's nothing done, this emission is planned to increase between 50 and 250% until 2050. So we saw this as our opportunity, and we say, okay, we'll go in this sector. As I said, there is a challenge to cut pollution. New technology are needed for this. Again, this is our opportunity. Europe is major and global player in development of high technology ships and green shipping technologies. At the moment, Europe is still the biggest player on the market, and a lot of new innovation, new technology is coming from the Europe, and we want to maintain this situation, and we want to even more develop new technologies on the European level. And then, of course, there is a policy, regulation, and urgency. In 2018, there were global agreement to cut GHG emissions from international shipping until by at least 50% until 2050. And to meet this target, we will require a lot of new technologies, and we see this as an opportunity to companies, to government, to economies. And because of this, we again started to work on the preparation of idea. As I said, in order to solve this problem, a lot of new innovative solution and development of new technologies is needed. And when we take into account that when you build your ship, you have like a 30 years lifespan of the ship. So we need to start in the next 10 years to develop new ships in order to reach these targets until 2050s, which are actually pushing us to have more innovation in this sector. And when we see a lot of new technologies, new ideas coming, like batteries, hydrogen is now mentioning constantly. Then you have 3D printers and 3D printing, which can speed up some process, artificial intelligence. So there are so many new technologies ready to be implemented in this sector. So how to embrace these change, how to develop more sustainable ecosystem, how to accelerate integration of innovative zero-emission vessel technology, how to do it on a transnational level. These are the questions what we asked at the beginning of the project when we started to write our project. And at the end result was this zero-emission vessel innovation project, or ZEVinnovation project. The project aim is to strengthen transnational innovation through this innovation hub, to increase collaboration and market uptake of ZEVs, transnational knowledge sharing. We will have experts from the Croatia, Poland, and Norway working on this project, and we ask other companies to contact us through our innovation hub, which is one of the main goal of our project, is to have this innovation hub where all stakeholders have opportunity to be member, and where they can receive tailored expertise, commercialization, and best practice. As I said, later presentation will we go in more details about what kind of expertise we offer, what is the commercialization, what are our best practice, and what we are looking and what we want to have with our innovation hub. So as I said, why ZEVinnovation project? So we have an idea of a digital hub, place where all companies can enter and offer the products, seek for the help, and talk with the experts. We want to include different stakeholders like innovators, SMEs, research organization, clusters. We are not focusing only for the one group of stakeholders, to have ability on this platform to share, exchange ideas through this platform. To educate people, to transfer the knowledge through different webinars, workshop, to create a network for innovation, internationalization of business. Those are our ideas and ways to help stakeholders regarding ZEVinnovation project. To actively play in the workshops and network events, and are one of the main also goals that help companies who are member of our hub to enter the international supply chain. We will have experts covering the business sector, technology, and the innovation sector. So 3 very important companies are part of our network, and these companies will work with the stakeholder about with their problems, with their innovation, and help them to reach goals, final goals of this project to apply for patents. We want to connect as much as to connect high number of companies in order to start working on the new products, new projects, developing new ideas, because the only we see at the moment, we see that collaboration is the key element to reach these targets until 2050. And then we want to convert your innovative ideas and the business case into ready-to-market product. This is one of our major outputs. So at the end, what is a project potential? We can say that one of the 6 project potential are establishment of an efficient and sustainable network of stakeholders, researchers, experts who are working jointly on zero-emission vessels. Involvement of multidisciplinary partners. As I said, we are looking for different companies, different sectors to be involved in this project and to help us to reach and to find out new ideas, new products. Collaborative development, work together on the joint application of new projects, new ideas. Supporting market uptake of ZEVs to help from our experts on the project to help companies to go on the new market, and we want to become at the end key player on the ZEVs market in the area of European area in this sector. And because of this, at the moment we are starting with a small area, Croatia, Poland, and Norway, but we are planning to expand our influence on the whole European area, because a lot of companies, a lot of stakeholders are existing in other countries in Europe, which can be a valuable member of our network and work together on the innovation. So thank you all for your attention. This was just short introduction to the project about what we do, what we offer, and what we want to achieve. Now my colleagues, my partners will present more information about their role and the current status in the countries. So thank you very much. So I will present our next presenter is Professor Pero Prebec, coming from the University of Zagreb Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, and he will present zero-emission vessel experience and future prospects in Croatia. So Pero, please start. And
thank you, Boris. Good morning, everyone. The main objective of my presentation is to explain why we have decided to apply for the grant with this specific subject, and why this is interesting for many different stakeholders in Croatia. As you see, I will need to go back. So the European Green Deal is actually the result of the EU efforts for environment protection, and the European Union has committed to become the first climate neutral bloc in the world by 2050. And what is interesting that this COVID-19 situation have even more strengthened the decision to become global leader in green technologies. And the European Green Deal investment plan will lead to 1 trillion of investment by 2050, over which 100 billion will be in the next period. And regarding waterborne sector, EU vision is to lead and accelerate the transformation of global waterborne transport sector into zero-emission mode of transport, which will eliminate all harmful environmental emissions through innovative ship technologies and operations. One of the instruments for reaching the Green Deal objective is actually Horizon Europe program. And part of that program is European Partnership, an initiative where EU, together with private and public partners, commit to jointly support the development and implementation of program of research and innovation activities. There are several partnerships in the several thematic areas in which this climate, energy, and mobility is the most relevant for this subject. Here we see this thematic area, and we see that clean hydrogen, batteries, clean energy transition is relevant, but zero-emission waterborne transport is completely along the lines of our project. The partnership objective is to provide and demonstrate zero-emission solutions for all main ship types and service before 2030. Which will enable zero-emission waterborne transport before 2050. The specific scientific objective is to develop and demonstrate deployable technologies, while the specific economic objective is to have economically viable European new technologies and concepts. And the specific societal objective is to facilitate the development of regulations and policies at national and international level to enable the implementation of technological solutions for zero-emission waterborne transport by 2030 at the latest. Here we see the proposed actions to reach given objectives, and although this design and retrofitting is the most oriented to the current design and shipbuilding practice, those objectives cannot be reached without proper care and giving the actions like, for example, the most obvious, providing the ports with necessary infrastructure for recharging and bunkering. And as you probably are aware, there is no one-size-fits-all single zero-emission solution which may transform the sector. Electric drive with battery packs is suitable only for ships that operate in short distances between ports. Hydrogen seems to be viable technology for more demanding operations, but for some ship types, internal combustion engines, but fueled with alternative green fuels looks like the only viable option from the current perspective. So different technologies need to be developed and adopted to specific operational needs and business models. The new technologies need to anticipate the continuous evolution of transport needs, ports, infrastructures, technologies, and regulations. And all of these aspects require new methodologies in design, manufacturing, and retrofitting. So the common strategy for greening of in-service ships and new builds can be applied in 3 consecutive steps. So minimize the ship energy needs, minimize the share of onboard internal combustion engines and power systems, and install alternative ship power systems and apply clean fuels on internal combustion engines. One of the most exciting consequences of implementing ZEV technologies is that it will lead to adaptation of fast design assessment methodologies in contrast to currently prevailing copying or scaling of ship designs with comparable requirements. The transition to other energy conversion technologies and fuel leads to different needs for weight, volumes, and layout. Even retrofitting of ships with new green technologies and systems lead to different needs for the ship architecture. And moreover, cost-effective technology upgrades for greening will have to be foreseen, since there is a high probability that some currently unknown or unmatured technologies will have to be implemented before the ship end of life. And here we see the first reason why we in Croatia are interested in adaptation of ZEV technologies, since it can improve the connectivity of Croatian islands with the coast, while at the same time giving the additional push to tourism and environmental protection. And the other reason is, of course, the shipbuilding and boat building industry. And although the current shipbuilding industry is far from data given here, the skills and some infrastructure is still here. And here is some incomplete list of ZEV-related activities, subjects. First, the two different full electric small catamarans are already designed and built and delivered for national parks in Croatia. Several design offices are involved in design projects for hybrid and full electric ships in 2019, 2020. So the last 2 years, most of them are ferries, but there are also some pretty innovative solutions for merchant transport, like the one you can see here for that foster the wind energy to help to reduce fuel consumption. Some companies already are at the market with their specific technologies, like Tema from Pula, Solvis for Varaždin. Tema produce electric propulsion, Solvis solar panels. There is also, of course, Rimac Automobili that can help in developing battery packs. There is Končar Institute, and probably some others that I haven't mentioned here. But there is also support coming from research institutions and universities like Brodarski Institute, University of Zagreb, coming from Faculty of Mechanical Engineering and Naval Architecture, Faculty of Electrical Engineering. There is also, of course, Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Mechanical Engineering from Split, Rijeka Technical University. So there is a support, definitely. And here you can see the two examples. The first is ICAT. This is actually the first small catamaran, full electric catamaran designed and built in Croatia. And you can see that also the engines are developed here in Croatia, and solar panels. It's a ship 15 meters long, and as you will see with the other examples, it's more or less similar, although this one is fully made of fiber reinforced plastic hull. The other one is coming from Dalmont, ex-Kraljevica shipyard. You see that length is pretty much the same, or a bit less. Also the passenger capacity, and as you see, this one is made from aluminum alloy. It also exploits some of the Croatian potential for development of ZEV technologies, like ZEV, like solar panels coming from Solvis, and it's designed by the company from Croatia. And at the end, just a quick overview of some opportunities for financing zero-emission vessels R&D in Croatia. So I have already mentioned the Horizon Europe and ZEVT partnership. It will be the definitely the most, let's say, wanted way of financing, and we actually hope that during this project we will enable generation of some partnership of some consortium. At national level, of course, we have European structural funds, and the great thing is that in strategy for smart specialization, in transport and mobility section, there are environmental friendly transport solution, and the pillar 2 of this part is actually waterborne sector. So there will be no problem in applying for financing here. I mentioned here IRI 1 and IRI 2 calls just because the IRI 3 have been announced that should be financed by the allocation from the next 2021 to 27 financing period. There is also co-financing scheme for the purchase of electric and hydrogen propulsion vessels that is actually currently open, and it co-finds up to 40% and up to 10 million kunas electric vessels. And of course, I think the last week or 2 weeks ago, it was just closed the Innovation Norway for business development and innovation Croatia call. So thank you very much for your attention. That's all from me for now. Boris?
Thank you very much, Pero. At the moment, we don't have any question, but I would like to ask you very quick question. Where do you see potential in Croatia for the zero-emission vessel? What is the potential, you know? We are specific countries with a lot of small islands. Some are very close, some very wide, you know, long distance. So what you will say as the starting point for the transforming this sector in Croatia?
Well, I wouldn't know about starting point, but in addition to the things that are mentioned, there is also initiative for European clean islands, where there will be also strong financial boost to development of renewable energy sources in islands. And as you know, the let's say intermittent nature of those energy sources will generate a lot of energy where at some point will not be able to use. So it will be necessary to store that energy, and those stored energy can be used for also for transport, either storing it for example, in hydrogen or in battery packs. But that's one of the possibilities. And of course, coming from naval architecture field, I think that one of the most promising things currently is that we have design offices that are capable of dealing with any sort of new innovative design. And I think that Croatia could be a really, let's say, important partner in this coming period.
Okay, Pero, thank you. Yeah, it's very interesting, and we can be like a testing place for the new technology. I hope that we'll have something in the future. So thank you. Our next presenter is our colleague from Poland, Marek. So he is coming from the Baltic Sea and Space Cluster. And he will present zero-emission ships, the Baltic and North Sea market, Polish shipyards experience and production potential. So Marek, please just start sharing.
Okay, but Boris, I have information that I cannot share my screen because I have not permission.
Oh, I don't know.
You cannot start a screen share where the other participant is sharing, but I see that you must change to main page. Oh, okay.
Pero is sharing. So now you are
Yes,
available.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
So another very interesting market is Polish market. So Marek will give us overview of the Polish market, and I think that is very good that we have a cluster from the Poland as a member of our project. And I hope that Marek and other members of the cluster will have a very good, how to say, experience, receive the knowledge, receive the help from the program and from the project in the field of zero emission vessel. Marek, is it
okay?
Starting?
Yes, wait a moment.
Okay, no problem.
Now I think that it will be work. Okay, is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Sorry. But it is end of presentation. I think that all people waiting for the end, but then we can start.
Yeah.
Okay. My information presentation is about the Baltic and North Sea market and Polish shipyards experience and production in potential. And we start from short information about Baltic Sea and Space Cluster. Baltic Sea and Space Cluster interested in all innovation in maritime industry, including artificial intelligence, ports, maritime transport, and including logistics law, maritime law, and of course we working in technology transfer between space and maritime industry. We are not big cluster because we choose our members, and our members, there are members with a strong position in the Polish and international market and with strong position in innovations, including Pomeranian Special Economic Zone, Port Gdynia and Gdańsk, shipyards Christ and Nauta, Port Hamburg Marketing, Automatic Systems Engineering, and other companies. And we choose our partners, including its activity in innovation transfer. And our activity in ZEVinnovation, Zero-Emission Vessel Innovation Project. First, the Baltic and North Sea markets. You see now a map of RoRo cargo turnover and activity of shipping lines in the Baltic Sea region and North Sea. And here on the left, you can find our market and our partners in Zero-Innovation Vessel Hub. And next slide inform about activity of the ROPAX map. And here you find a new part of our partners, and it is demand for our activity and for zero emission vessels. Here you see information about services and operators which service on the Baltic and Atlantic or North Sea market. And general information about what happened in ports as part of the logistics maritime chain in the Baltic Sea region. And you see it is information about Baltic ports cargo turnover. You see that Ust-Luga is on the first place, but Gdańsk and Gdynia, because these two ports work in Gdańsk Bay in one region. When we add these activities in cargo turnover, you see that Gdańsk and Gdynia are on second place in the Baltic Sea region. And next, information about the Polish market. About Polish market, you see, I inform only our ports, and the main Polish ports, it is Gdańsk, Gdynia, Szczecin, and Świnoujście. But if you see about the length of seaport quays, you see that these small ports, it is not small. As for example, Elbląg in this place, it has a quays long more than 5 kilometers. Darłowo, it is more than 5.7 kilometers. Then you see that definition small and big port is very difficult to explain. And information about what happened with our ports according zero-emission vessels. Our ports are visited 11,000 ships every year, with mainly with scrubbers. Only about 1,000 visits. There are ships with LNG propulsion. About 10 ships every year visited Polish ports with electric propulsion, and 0 ships with hydrogen and methanol propulsion. And short information about turnover in Polish ports from 2012-2019. As you see, Gdańsk is in the first place, and in the second place, Szczecin, Świnoujście, and Gdynia in the third place. Global turnover in the Polish ports is more than 100 tons. And Polish shipyards production. Short information with photos and slides more. First slide, it is general information about major zero-emission vessels, Polish shipyards production. In Poland, we have produced a hybrid vessel for Finnish market, hybrid diesel vessel for transport for London, Ampere for Norway owner, Electra colored hybrid, and Salish Orca. It is a ship with dual fuel with LNG. And you see that Ampere received Ship of the Year award in 2014, and Color Hybrid received Ship of the Year in 2019. And short views of this production. Double-ended ferry with it is electric ferry for thin ferries, and next ferries are in construction and production. Next ferry with hybrid propulsion, it is ROPAX for Iceland owner. Next, 4 ships from Christ shipyard, which was built in cooperation with Ulstein. And next production, it is BC ferries, Salish Orca type, 6 this type ferries will be working in British California in Canada. And next, this ferry hybrid diesel electric propulsion, it is a ferry for transport for London. And small vessels, it is electric hydrodrone with goal to doing research in ports and bay area. And next, Polish shipyard potential. In short words, we are in 4 stages in Polish industry because we work in different areas. Ships with scrubbers, it is good experience in Polish shipyards, and we transfer propulsion and support propulsion to work with in Baltic and North Sea zone. And next, I said Salish Orca, it's dual fuel ships. Next progress in our development and our activity in zero-emission vessels is ferry for island owner, and ferry for Finland, it is completely electric propulsion ferry. Polish shipyards potential. In short words, ship production potential is, in my opinion, it is 30 new zero-emission vessels per year. Now, all ship production is work on international market, mainly on Scandinavian market. Ship conversion, we can do ship conversion in Polish shipyards. In my opinion, 90 vessels per year, we can convert from traditional propulsion on electric or dual fuel propulsion. Maybe more, maybe more. And yachts and boats. Poland is one of main producers in the world, yachts and boats. Our production, it is about 22,000 yachts and boats on the international market mainly, and about 5 to 10% of these yachts, they are big yachts, and it is our market and our potential to offer new zero-emission boats in the market. Here you see in this photo, it is a container with batteries on Tycho Brahe ferry, which was converted to electric propulsion from diesel propulsion. And Polish shipyards potential. These ships which I presented in this presentation are produced in two areas. One area, it is Remontowa shipbuilding, and the second big area, it is Baltic port of new technologies in Gdynia. And you see here is Christ shipyard, Nauta shipyard, and Damen Polska shipyard. And Polish companies and members of the Baltic Sea and Space Cluster participated in development of ZEVinnovation ships in different stages of production. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marek. Thank you for the presentation. You gave us actually very good overview of the situation in the Poland. I saw that in your cluster you have a lot of very interesting companies working in this sector, and I hope that in the future we will have opportunity to have collaboration or cooperation between Croatian, Polish, and Norway company on development of new products, new ideas. What is the main idea of our project? Thank you, Marek.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Per Ingeberg, coming from OKP from Norway. So Per will present zero-emission vessels overview of the state of the art in Norway. Per is our technical expert in this field. I think that Per have a lot of experience and he can share a lot of good information. Per, floor is yours, so please start with your presentation.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try to get the full picture. Full screen. Can you see the full screen, Boris?
Yeah, perfect. Full screen is here.
Excellent. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Per Ingeberg. I'm a project manager from OKP for ZEVinnovation project. I'm also EU advisor for the clusters under our administration in Norway. And related to that, I really look forward to the pilot projects in ZEVinnovation and the potential prospects for funding through the New Horizon Europe program, which Pero also pointed out. So that will be exciting. As you can see here, OKP is located in the heart of the largest maritime cluster in Norway. It's on the northwest coast in the famous Jugend city of Ålesund. So if you have a chance to go there, it's a fantastic, beautiful city, and you are very welcome, of course. We are well integrated in the campus Ålesund, together with Norwegian University of Science and Technology, NTNU. You find Research Institute SINTEF in the cluster, in the campus, sorry. Kongsberg Group is established with Kongsberg Maritime. And you find also many other industry companies, laboratories for research and innovation developments in the same area. We're also close now to the newly established Ocean Space Laboratory, which is dedicated to full-scale real-life testing of autonomous vessels. It's just outside the Ålesund area in the fjord called Storfjord. OKP is a regional center for innovation and business development, then representing large both marine and maritime hub. We manage two industry clusters, the Blue Maritime and the Blue Legacy, the latter being for marine products and fisheries. As part of the OKP Blue Innovation Arena, which we have built up over years, we offer training and development programs for both startups and scale-ups, which will, be transferable, a lot of the experience we have from there to the build-up of the hub in this project. We also take on management roles for collaboration projects, both nationally with our partners and internationally, where we, as an example, run digital transformation projects through our digital catapult, the National Catapult Center. A little bit to the clusters, and we see a great advantage in the maritime and the marine link, where amongst many things, we facilitate the development and implementation of digital solutions, which is of course also very relevant when we talk about zero-emission vessels. Between the marine and maritime sector, by using the digital catapult, as I just explained, and our simulation expertise from the Maritime Cluster. By the way, in the Marine Cluster, we have close to 60 members. In the digital catapult, we can take concepts and ideas, which can be then validated through virtual prototyping, developed as digital twins in different formats. It can be simulated and tested then for various applications. So it's a great opportunity to do testing virtually before you have to invest in costly equipment. Now to the Maritime Cluster, which has a long tradition, many years in pioneering all the blue opportunities that the cluster are approaching. So the experience go all the way back to building old Viking ships, obviously through the offshore oil and gas era, and then to the latest development as an example here from the expedition cruises. And this Maritime Cluster are among the strongest in the world on completeness. Showing a little bit here on the next slide. The complete cluster consists of 18 ship owners, 13 yards, 13 designers, and as much as 170 equipment makers. And they all tells a very long story of a unique close cooperation. that has really been the foundation for building this strong maritime cluster. Now to our role in the ZEVinnovation project. So here our role is to be advisor and expert partner. We are going to exchange the best from the state-of-the-art technologies and development in Norway. And together with OKP's best practice platform experience over many years for startups and scale-ups, we hope that we are able to transfer the best experience into this hub. And we are also responsible for work package 3, which is then focused on research and technology foresight. And here we have special focus on how Norwegian expertise within zero-emission vessel development can help the pilot countries to enhance their capabilities. Now to the topic, the main topic of the presentation of mine today is to give you a very short overview of the state-of-the-art developments of zero-emission vessel targets in Norway as per today. And here it's typically hydrogen-driven ship projects and the hybrid ships. So here you see an overview from a presentation from the ferry company Norled that presented the Hydra project, as you find a small picture on there. This is a semi-hydrogen powered ferry going to operate in the fjords of Stavanger in the south west coast of Norway. The ferry will be operational from summer 2021, and all the other vessels you see is either hydrogen fuel cell powered or a combination of fuel cells and batteries. If we look back from the start of this picture, you see the Energy Observer and Race for Water. They are two boats designed to create the best out of renewable energy on ships. These are small sailboats, so basically they have a relatively little transfer value for the shipping industry. Although the market effect and the focus and the understanding on renewable energy in the shipping industry has its values in itself, of course. Then we have Electra, started in 2019. This is a hydrogen electric tug for European waterways. It pushes barges up and down the rivers. To my understanding, it looks like the vessel is not yet in operation, but the keel was laid, I think, in early March this year. Finally, on this overview, mentioning the project Maranda. It is a FCH joint undertaking EU-funded project back from 2017. Now they are using the research ship Aranda that has a fuel cell installation on board, approximately 165 kilowatt installed, and it's going to do a 6-month test, as we're told. All the other projects on this overview are being planned as we speak. Now to a couple of hybrid solutions. One is Color Line's plug-in hybrid, which Marek also mentioned. This is obviously a prestige project in Norway, where the vessel sails on battery in and out from the Sandefjord harbor on the Norwegian side. And we know that there's a work on the way to prepare similar capacity in Strömstad in Sweden as the other port. We know that the project shows that local pollution can be significantly reduced in port. The other one, the coastline operator Hurtigruten, has Fridtjof Nansen and Roald Amundsen as their hybrid expedition cruise vessels. And we know that Hurtigruten has also options for 2 more vessels. So we hope the market will pick up on that side, of course, we all do. Then to electric ferries. There are many ferry routes in Norway to be electric in the future. 26 will be electric this year, mostly along west coast of Norway. And more than 60 new builds are ordered as electric ferries. The ferry company Fjord1, then represented here by the Kommandøren, is already in the process of phasing in 30 electric vessels into the fleet, actually by this year. And these are 25 new builds and 5 retrofits. There are still requirements for diesel generator as a backup, which also allows for maintenance and repair if charging fails. There are quite a few challenges, or the main challenges are related to onshore infrastructure. It's often costly and a demanding local process in developing the different onshore solutions. Then to hybrid offshore vessel, which has taken a direction due to the fact that Equinor today demands the offshore fleet to offer hybrid capacity. We see relatively large fuel savings due to variable operating profile, and we see results showing between 5 to 15% over lower energy consumption. There's a lot to gain in, for instance, dynamic positioning, where they use battery for peak shaving, for leveling out the load. I think this will be the standard solution going forward. Finally, my presentation, a quick glance at fishing vessels and fish carriers, where we see an increasingly degree using batteries in hybrid solutions, which is very good. And also workboats for aquaculture is coming fastly, and they're now more and more built either as completely electric or hybrid diesel battery. We see that in many areas they have a short distance from shore to the site, to the fish farms. So there could be really beneficial to also for existing fleet to retrofit with batteries. We see that coming more and more. Yeah, so this was a very quick and brief run through the various development in Norway. Thank you.
Thank you, Per, for this very interesting presentation, actually showing why we took OKP and why program is financing a cooperation like this, that the Norwegian company need to transfer knowledge to other European companies because they are leader in this field. And one quick question. What could be the main reason for Norwegian companies to be interested in cooperation with the companies from Poland and Croatia? Just quick, by your words. You know, you cannot save the world and you cannot start cooperation, but let's say it for the discussion.
Yes, I think first of all, what comes to my mind is that there are already quite a lot of Norwegian companies, small and large, already established, well established in both Croatia and Poland. And of course, for them to get access to this particular hub in ZEVinnovation project could be of interest. They will have access to a wider network. They will have the opportunity to participate in the pilot projects, where we have targets to also get interesting funding through the EU program. So I think that in general, for them, it will be, you know, adding on their network and open up opportunities, and which also counts for other companies which is not established. We should be able to motivate them and encourage them to see the same opportunities.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is challenging, very interesting, and we actually want to connect companies in our project between Croatia, Norway, Poland, and we're actually seeking for innovative products for joint, how to say, innovative products developed by companies from these three countries. We are not looking for one company working only in Croatia, Poland, but joint working on development of the products, and this will be very good for the project, and that we want to achieve in our project. So thank you, Per. Our next presenter is Barbara Salopek. Barbara is coming from the Vinco Innovation company from Norway, and she will present, topic of her presentation is innovation, why it matters today more than ever, and what do permanent innovators have in common. So Barbara, floor is yours, please present, and after your presentation, we'll have one or two questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Boris, very much. It's a pleasure to have opportunity to talk today and present Vinco Innovation. So just to start the presentation. Yeah. So thank you for this nice introduction, Boris, and thank you to the previous colleagues. It's very interesting to hear one more time about everyone and about the project. So Vinco Innovation is a partner in the project, and we will describe here a little bit about the project, our role, and also why we think this is a really important initiative. So yeah, Vinco Innovation, our specialty is innovation. Innovation is strictly linked with growth. If you look at the statistics, it's because new ideas create new businesses. It's not invention, but it's innovation. Invention that brings value, that's innovation. So it's not about having a patent, it's also using the patent in business, which matters. So that is innovation, and this is what we are focusing in. Our goal is to help other companies to manage innovation successfully. And it's not only about structuring innovation process, because also you need to have a creative innovation environments, innovation culture within the company in order for the processes to work. So we help companies to create both innovation culture, but also then innovation processes, or simply guide an idea or two or technologies to the market. As we have also one of the things, this is one of the goals also of this project. Or this is in other words called commercialization. So we focus on innovation in a holistic view, from bottom up or top down, to say it in a simple words. We have been established in the end of 2016, so we are still very young, but we have strong competences in our team. We have also good examples of our customers and clients. One of the biggest recently was winning a public tender with the Norwegian Roads Administration, which we are very proud and which we delivered with a really good success, and the Norwegian Roads were very satisfied. We have also a knowledge and know-how about different funding schemes in Norway, and also internationally this EA and the Norway grants. We are also on the west coast as OKP, but a little bit more south. We are in Bergen. As you can see here from the chart, we are expertise partner together with OKP in this project. And this is our team for the project. I'm the CEO of the company, but I also come into the project with my innovation expertise. Trond, he is a project manager and leads the project from our side. He's also very experienced, also in the innovation and startup environment. So we are very happy to have him on the team. And also we have Malene, who is also expert on innovation and also will help with innovation know-how, and also we are very happy to have her as well. This is very shortly about the team. I'm originally from Croatia, and I came to Norway in 2006, and I have this luxury of knowing both cultures very well, both Croatia and Norway. Living in Norway for 14 years, speaking the language fluently and being integrated. I really enjoy being the bridge between the two countries, and of course more countries, because I also have been living in Germany and US. As an expertise partner, we not only bring innovation know-how, but also we would like to contribute when it comes to networking between Norway, Croatia, and other countries, which will produce the active project collaboration, knowledge sharing, and connecting prospect collaborators. When it comes to the innovation know-how, we come with the different aspects of this through helping creating innovation strategy, business development, market analysis, leadership of commercial research projects, helping how to make the innovation funnel, which means how to collect ideas, how to evaluate, how to get them to the market, whether it's going to be a startup or it's going to be a licensed or it's going to be a patent and then it's licensed out to someone else. So we have these competences and experience, and we really, with the heart, want to bring this to the project and transfer it to the other, not only partners in the project, but also stakeholders and the members of the project in the long run. So as I said, one thing is to bring the know-how, innovation know-how, but also we have 4 professional working packages, and we are in charge of the working package, which focuses on hub creation. This working package starts in January, and it will focus, among others, on these activities named here. First, we will try to research on existing solutions and processes, see what other hubs have done, how did they did it, what are their key success factors, and what from this can be applied to this case. We will also talk with the stakeholders and the research what they want from this hub in order to then work with definition or the processes and methods for idea generation and evaluation. And this is, you have to have in mind that this is on transnational level, how we will collect ideas on transnational level and how we will guide them through the innovation funnel in order to launch them on the market at the end. Of course, those things will be basis to establish an online platform that will be facilitating these processes. And then we will, in addition, work to implementation of crucial networking activities in order to develop business cooperation and create synergies. And I already know there are a couple of initiatives who are interested in this transnational project and a collaboration. So to go a little bit on the topic of today's presentation, like if we take away COVID and climate as an issue, then we already had very challenging environments, empowered customers that can get all information through the internet. We have exponential technological development and oil prices. But in addition to that, today, climate and sustainability are extremely important. And in addition to that, COVID-19 situation. So it's extremely challenging environments that companies have to navigate. Today's situation, 2020, will change many business models, will change some industries. So innovation is extremely important to help companies sustain in the long run. And when we talk about crisis or these difficult periods we are, for example, now in COVID-19, it's also very helpful to learn from the past experience. So we have done a research and we looked into what was the outcome of finance crisis in 2008 and what impacts had it on innovation. Because if you look at innovation, and Schumpeter, who was the father of innovation, he said that creative destruction is great for innovation. But the question, of course, is this crisis a creative destruction at all or not? And if you look at the finance crisis 2008, OECD has done a research, and they said that it was evident that we had a fall in patent activities, fall in the number of PCT applications and number of startups. And this is not unusual, because if it's crisis, the economy shrinks, people are more risk averse, they are afraid to invest So of course this happens. And in addition to that, we had increased bankruptcy numbers in the whole Europe. So the study rejects the implication that crisis increases innovation. However, 2008 crisis, there were cases both on the national level and the companies level that they continued to innovate. Some countries like South Korea and China, they continued to innovate, actually increased innovation. And also was the case for some companies. So we dig a little bit more into this to find out what was in common for those, because those that continued to innovate despite the crisis, they are called permanent or persistent innovators. When we look on the national level, it means that companies that were permanent, the nations that were permanent innovators, they had a good national institutional structures for innovation. They had robust financial systems and highly skilled human capital. And this grant is one of the things that builds the good national institutional structures for innovation. Actually, it's not national, it's transnational. So this is something that creates the basics so we can innovate more. And in this way, we can offset the crisis effects. And of course, by transferring the knowledge and know-how, we build on a highly skilled human capital on transnational level. So if you look the goals of the AI Norway grants, they want to solve common European challenges. They focus on more equal Europe, and they also focus on strengthening relations. So, and by doing this, we increase, as I said, a know-how on the European level. We strengthen the innovation institutional basis to be more innovative, and this is how it makes us more robust against the crisis. In another thing, if we look on the companies level, what the research showed was that companies that continued to innovate, they focused on delivering products that were new to the market. And you probably wonder, what does this mean, new to the market? Very simple example. If you take the iPhone, when it first came, or iPad, they were new to the market. But when you look at the Samsung Galaxy, it wasn't new to the market, it was new to the company. So focusing on the products that are transformational, that change the industry, that are totally new to the market, they actually contribute that in the long run, the company will sustain and be more robust. Of course, strong human capital, again, is an extremely important part of the success. Without highly skilled human capital, no growth, no innovation will be possible. And this together is connected with growing creative accumulation. What does this mean? This means embracing technological changes, embracing all the technological developments are coming, using artificial intelligence, using machine learning, blockchain, all these technologies in order to create new products to the market. And if we connect this to overall goals of the project, we're focusing on creating networks for the development of electric ships to promote maritime innovation. We want to have technologies, ideas that will be commercialized, that will also transfer ideas, transfer knowledge on transnational level in order to lift not only those countries involved, but also to grow know-how on the European level. So from innovation part of view, so we are coming with innovation know-how, and I showed here how important it is to focus on innovation, how important it is to build all the elements that help us innovate better, and this is also in line with the overall goals of the project. So we are looking forward to be part of this, to contribute to making this project successful, and we hope that we will get many partners interested. This project goes on 3 more years. It will be demanding for everyone, but it's also on cultural levels. But we really look forward, and we really are going with the hearts and want this to succeed and to create some good examples by the end of those 3 years for the long run success. So this was all from my side. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I already got some inquiries, and we will follow up those. contact me or Boris, who is leading the project, and hopefully you will be active contributor to the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara, for this very good presentation. I have one very small, quick question, and I hope that you can give us an answer on it. Do you know what is the level of innovation in this sector, in waterborne sector? Did you work on any innovation in this sector? Do you have any experience when you prepared your presentation? Did you catch or get any number from this sector? You know, because I'm not the expert in this sector and I don't have the numbers. So maybe you have some numbers about innovation in maritime sector, waterborne sector. So.
Well, this is a very general question that you ask about innovation. Norway is, since 2014, Norway innovation success has been growing. They are investing lots of money. And if you look at the percentage, not only when you look at the percentage of GDP, but you look at the absolute numbers, it's a great amount that Norway is finally shifting from oil and gas focus to the sustainable and green focus. And they have many good projects also in Bergen region and Ålesund that are supporting this politics on the national level. So they are like, we have in our only our region, we have 96 companies here that are connected to this topic. So I don't know, like, what other numbers were you looking for? So
yeah, this is actually okay, because you know, other countries, you know, you are leading countries, so we will need somehow to transfer this knowledge, experience, and how they start to other companies in Croatia, Poland, but also worldwide, if we invite them and if they accept our invitation to join the hub. So Barbara, thank you. If there are more questions, as Barbara said, you can send to us and we will answer you. So our next presenter is Bojan Bajic. So he's coming from Croatian company Inovacije I Razvoj, or on English, Innovation and Development. So Bojan will present ZEVinnovation business and joint R&D opportunities. So Bojan, floor is yours. So please start.
Thank you, Boris. Greetings to everyone. I'm glad that you joined us today for this webinar. I will shortly present what is the business and joint R&D opportunity for and beneficiaries of this project planned to be implemented during the project implementation. So we already mentioned Digital Innovation Hub. So what does it actually mean? It means that it will have, let's say, four main topics. That is knowledge sharing, that is education, that is networking and internationalization, and innovation. So what are we building up in this knowledge sharing part is mainly connected to our first activities in the project, and that is to implement technology foresight and to detect focal R&D points in zero-emission vessels technologies, which will be available through this platform. Also, we will do the market analysis and share it on the platform. We will do the detailed map of R&D production and ZEV operators. In the project area, by meaning project area, not only Poland, Croatia, and Norway is in interest, but whole region of European Economic Area, from where we plan to catch the key players and map them also in this during the development of the platform. Also, we will share the best practices in design, financing, production, and practical use of zero-emission vessels. Another thing also, we will be updating regularly the funding opportunities and other relevant information that can be useful for users of this platform. In the education part, also webinars like this, digital library that we are preparing, and all archive of educational materials produced during this project will be available to users of the platform. Also, users will be able to use the platform for networking and internationalization by presenting their products, their interests and proposals. Also, partner search will be available, and we will push the transnational business cooperation primarily between Norway, Poland, and Croatia. In this part, there is not only a digital part in which users can connect, but there will be also our expertise and our experts from the behind who will help the beneficiaries and users of this platform in finding partners, in connecting for possible cooperation agreements and stuff like that. So it is also, this part is also connected with our pilot activities in this project, which I will mention later. And also innovation part. In this part, we would like to use this platform as much as it's possible to build up the joint innovative business ideas. And also this platform will be used for application for programs, pilot programs in this project. So another part of the project, what we offer for beneficiaries is study visits. Interested developers, in order to exchange ideas and develop new products, will be able to join us in study visits which are planned in Norway, Poland, and Croatia. And there is also the main part of this project, and what do we offer for companies, innovators, etc., are those pilot programs which will be implemented after the study visits and the startup of the hub. And these pilot programs are mainly they're consistent of three pillars, three topics, that is idea development, product development, and market development. In each of these fields, we will provide several activities for interested teams for development of products, ideas, and market. So for the idea development, we will select up to 10 projects for which we will provide matchmaking services. We will organize joint workshops. We will do the business development services such as IP strategy planning, business planning. And we will provide also technical expertise in this early phase of development of innovative ideas. We will surely have focus on transnational initiatives, so cooperation will be one of the selecting criteria. And also for those ideas which we select, we will push to develop some business case which can be further presented for other partners, investors, and also a plan for further development of idea and project or service. So from those 10 projects which will be developed, we plan to choose 4, I can say, the best teams, best ideas. And for those teams, we plan to implement pilot action, which is product development. And we will provide product development services for those selected ideas, primarily with external technology mentors, mainly coming from Norway, and participation in joint workshops which will be organized in Norway. So 4 teams which will be involved will have this opportunity to develop their ideas in more details until we have some kind of, let's say, not maybe market to ready product, but developed in the phase of solving the main technological, technical issues in the project. Also, there is another pilot action which is connected with already ready-to-market products and technologies, where we will provide support services for entering international supply chains and sell markets. So in this field, we will have our experts for business and matchmaking services, legal advising, etc., which all will push the solutions from this area, from Croatia, from Poland, and from Norway to connect on the other markets and markets between. So already mentioned, SMEs, researchers, experts, and innovators are our main beneficiaries, but also we would like to have large companies involved in the primary hub, but also in pilot activities where collaboration with SMEs will be necessary for large companies. So also other interested parties in this project are port authorities, business support organizations, employers and industrialist federations, productivity centers and clusters, funding institutions, state and public institutions, and NGOs. We would like to have them also as users of our hub, but also as participants in different fields of project implementation, organization of different events, and also in pushing out our recommendations from this project through these especially public institutions. Just quickly on the timeline, so everybody who is interested in joining us can have expectations. We have online hub start date at May 2021. After that, you will be able to use it in full functional version. Also, in between April and September of next year, we plan to implement many networking activities and those already mentioned study visits. This will surely depend on the COVID situation and how we will implement those activities. And from the May 2021 until the February 2023, we will be providing those pilot activities that are already mentioned. How can you join us? Please follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn page, which is already online. So there will be also every announcement of the project activity will be able there. So also participants from today's webinar who clicked to be contacted later will be contacted and get newsletters about our next activities. We're having the plenary sessions at the beginning of the next year. Also, some other communication and educational activities and events will be implemented very soon. So you will be on time informed on this. As I mentioned, the online registration is in the digital hub is precondition in participation in our pilot programs. So when the hub will be enabled and started, you will be noticed about that, and we will appreciate you for you to join us in this digital platform. Also, I would like to invite you to share our project with the people who might be interested, and we would like to have as many as possible key players and interested parties in a specific area of Croatia and Norway and Poland, but also from the other countries to join us and to be part of this story. So this is briefly on what are the main activities and what can be the expectations from companies and other stakeholders of this project. So I hope that we will see you even in personally in following months and years. Thank you.
Thank you, Bojan, for this interesting presentation. You actually showed one of the most important part of our project, which is it is tailored expertise. I received one very interesting question, so maybe you can give an answer because it's linked with the pilot action.
Okay.
So our colleague from Norway, Anders, is asking what TRL level are we looking for? What about, if in your opinion, what is the best TRL level to start to talk with the company in this case, in this project? I know that we were talking about TRL 6 or 7, but your experience.
Yeah, I think that actually during the project implementation selection criteria, I don't think it will be a TRL level of idea or innovation, but mainly we will focus on other elements of those ideas, like a market opportunity, like possibility of transnational cooperation, etc. So for TRL level, we will surely push those from 6, 7, but also ideas which are in early phase of development and need some let's say technical expertise in solving problems in early phases are also welcome. So I don't think that there will be any restriction in this matter.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we are actually not restricting. So we are basically open, as you said, for good ideas, and we are looking for the companies who are actually want to develop and want to research, want to innovate, and on that way to help them. But thank you very much, Bojan. That was last question from a panelist. I received one additional question, but I think it's more linked to Per and Pero. But Bojan, maybe you can also jump, or Marek. So the question was following: do we have any suggestion to cities who are working on development of the strategy? And they have the port in the city. So do you have any suggestion what to include in strategy? What should be included? What to think, in that sector? It's very interesting because now, if we take into account that developing process from the strategy to real life is like 10 to 20 years. And if we are looking for 2050 for preparing a lot of electric vessels or hydrogen vessels, what to look, what to prepare, how to set up. Any comment, any idea, Pero and Per? We can say you are more expert in this field.
I would say that Per could give a better answer. I can start with that. It will be definitely necessary to have some kind of a survey, what kind of ships will enter those ports, and based on that study, the decisions can be made. There is no point of making a strategy without knowing what kind of ships will enter, what kind of fuel, either batteries, hydrogen, or anything else will be used. Maybe Per, you have some other comment?
No, but what comes to my mind is actually what we see coming from the EU Commission, EU guidance. If you look at the Green Deal, they have one part which is green ports. We have a lot of guidance what they really want to happen in projects in that area, and also the new Horizon Europe program 7-year framework is also telling me, at least, a lot about what EU wants to see happen. So these are typically a 4-year project, 4 or 5-year project, and we'll make sure that we go in the right direction in the speed that is wanted. And taking an example from the Ålesund city where we are based, we are now establishing a group of partners looking at the whole infrastructure with the Ålesund port in the center. What kind of shipping are we talking about? What kind of power sources, power production? What kind of hydrogen sources, ammonium, bio, etc., etc. So we're trying to establish a complete picture for the shipping industry to better understand what will be required up against the guidance from the EU and also the national, which follows the same strategy.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's very good explanation. And I have one last question. I think is better for you. It's linked with charging of these electric ferries and ships. So in our case, for example, in Croatia, we have a lot of islands, and the ferries are connecting islands. Do you have experience from Norway how to charge? What are you doing at the moment with the charging these ships? When we take into account that electric cars creating small problems, we skipped trucks and we switched to the ferries. So we moved from the small charging points to the big charging points. So your experience from Norway?
That's a continuous continuing discussion and challenge. And I mentioned also in my presentation that bringing the required power to do the charging of ferries, as an example, is really one of the big challenges in many port areas for the ferry crossings in Norway. So it's a cost of it's a matter of cost. You can provide the power, but it has a price.
Okay.
So that's always the balance. In islands, there may be some local production. Of course, hydrogen is a potential power source which you can produce by wind power, as an example. So we will see a lot of those alternative power production in the future.
And what about using the old batteries for the charging on the islands, as a balancing? Do you have experience with that in Norway? Did you use somewhere? So instead of throwing your old batteries, you create on the island place where you use that old batteries as a storage point for your charging. So do you have experience with that in Norway? Did you use somewhere something like that?
I'm not aware of that, Boris. I personally, that's into the technology field.
Okay.
I'm not deeply into, so and I cannot come up with some specific examples on that. Sorry.
So when city is actually developing, in this case, that we have the question, the strategy for the city and with the port. So charging is one very big or one very interesting problem, which we need to solve. And I think that they need to focus on that problem, or to check at least situation what is in the port. So I think that we answered on all questions from our attendees. After the end of webinar, we will send the presentation to all participants in order to have possibility to check, and they can ask questions. And I hope that many of our attendees will join our hub and have opportunity to receive mentorship from our experts in development of their products. because I saw that there are questions about what the TRL levels we are looking and things like that. So project is interesting, field is very interesting. So I hope that we will engage a lot of stakeholders and to give help for them to develop new products, to enter the new market, and to have possibilities to cooperate with other stakeholders and partners. So maybe for the end, one last sentence by all presenters, and we can close our webinar. It's almost 2 hours of the webinar. So maybe Bojan, Per, Pero, and Barbara, and then Marek, one last sentence and to close the webinar.
Okay, last sentence. I'm very pleased that we had lots of attendees today, and I think this topic will be hot in the next few years, especially regarding the horizon plans for pushing up zero-emission vessels in development of those technologies. So I'm looking forward to work together with all of you. Thank you.
Okay. Pero.
Yes, I'm also looking forward for seeing you. Some of you I have seen during some preparation of other projects, and there'll be several years that I haven't saw a lot of you, and I hope that I see many others, many new faces from other companies that will be, let's say, that will give us their ideas, their problems, and I think that together we will be able to solve a lot of issues and to, let's say, bring our ideas towards some solutions, toward market, and I hope that together we will also apply for some, let's say, serious funds and stuff like that. So I'm very looking forward to especially the pilot project.
Okay, thank you, Pero. Per, your last word.
I'll be quick. No, it's good to get started for real, actually, and it's good also to see that we still have close to 50 participants on this webinar, even over time. This tells me that we have an audience which finds what we are aiming for of interest. So we will do our best to excite them also going forward.
Okay, thank you. Barbara?
Yeah, it's, as said before, it's very nice to see that still people are here, and that means that this is something that they also see important. This project touches upon very important topics, both when it goes to the sustainability and also when it comes to innovation and economic growth. So this is something that I think is important, and look forward to work with everyone.
And thank you, Barbara. And Marek, just 1 or 2 sentences last to close.
One sentence. In my opinion, this project is very important. It is not only good idea, but we are working in the times then in Asia, 15 countries has created a strong organization, and I think that our project helps us not only knowledge transfer, but helps us closer connection with our market. Because if you know, I give an examples of our production, but you know that a lot of our ship owners created created new market and new ships buys in Chinese or Korean market. I think that we must create a group, and this project is a chance to create a group which helps our shipyards, our design offices, and our producers of parts to ships to cooperate with Scandinavian and Mediterranean markets. Thank you.
Okay, so just one sentence at the end. I just want to thank you all participants, panelists, attendees, and I hope that we will have opportunity to have physical workshops and one-on-one meetings, because webinars are okay, but when we all sitting in the one room and starting conversation, it's much better compared to this. But at the moment, only options are webinars. So thank you all for the presentation, for the listening. Thank you all for the questions, and I hope that we'll have opportunity for the future cooperation. So thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you, and we invite to direct contacts. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.